Perfect. Oh, thank you so much. Okay. You guys are going to have to forgive me. I'm so sorry. I know if you were signed up for the webinar back in August, I had to cancel. We unfortunately had a death in our family. And so we had rescheduled for today. And then yesterday I wake up, I'm like, oh my gosh, my voice is gone, but I am not canceling. I said I'm going to go. I will maybe speak a little less than I need to. We'll let the slides do their job as well. But I did not want to cancel today. I'm here. I'm so excited to be here. I'm very grateful that you are here and that you were able to take time to be here today and just hang out. It's fertility is not something that is a fun thing to go through by any means. So I'm gonna also drink water. Hold on. Okay. Fertility is not something that is fun to go through or that is easy to go through. And so we can take little moments throughout this journey to get together, to be together, to hang out, to learn something new that may uplift you, help you, give you a little hope and inspiration. Why are we not doing that? More of that, right? So I hope that that's what you will get from today. I have a fun presentation for you today. It's fun for me. I hope it will be fun for you too. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. The chat is here too. So please, if you have questions throughout, please put them in the chat. I will do my best to do a Q&A at the end if we have some time. And of course, I want to be respectful of your time as well and make sure that you have everything that you need answered as well. So let me go in here and share my screen with you. Oh, there we go. Okay. All righty. Let's come back here. Oh, sorry. I don't know what just happened there. We want this one. This one. There we go. Good Lord, you guys. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Here we are. We're at the I love how I'm right at the end of my presentation already. There you go. It's all over and you get the new moon meditation. Enjoy. Okay, sorry. Technical difficulties. There we go. All righty. Let's come back. Can you see the screen okay? Let me know if that's working out okay for you. You can see everything. Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm going to move the chat over here as well. So I have the chat box open. All right. So, welcome to the secrets to unlock your fertility. I know a lot of women will be like, what give me all the things, all the secrets, right? There has to be something more than the suffering that we go through. It is not easy. And, as someone who also went through this, I know that this may very likely be one of those life things that when you're 90 years old, sitting in your porch rocking chair, thinking about saying like, wow, what an experience that was to have to go through. And again, I'm here today to try and give you some tools and some information that might help you get through this with a little bit less suffering because it is a tough go. And I know this. And I am, oh, this is why I do what I do because I know this. So if you don't know a little bit about my story or about me, maybe you're new to Magic Mindset, or maybe you've been here for a while, but my name is Elena. I am a teacher by nature. It has always, since I was a kid, been something that I have loved doing. I spent 15 years as a kindergarten teacher working with children, and now I'm teaching women who are in the process of bringing their babies into this world, how to become your own best resource. This really, for me, is about empowering you. Okay. You have so much more control over this than you might believe. And I really, really want to bring that to your awareness. My compassion for women on this journey has really led me to support them in whatever way I can. So, when my own journey to my baby took a very different path than I expected, I was hit with some pretty big challenges. The first few years of my infertility felt really hard, as it usually does for most women, because we are just, we might come into it thinking, okay, I need a little bit of help. And then all of a sudden, weeks and months turn into years, and it's just not what we expected. It's so much harder than we ever knew. And it comes with a lot of guilt and a lot of shame, a lot of disappointment. There's so many heavy emotions there. And I want you to know too, you're not alone. And almost every woman who has had to walk this path has felt those things too. And for me, it was lonely, it was scary, it was hard. I experienced a lot of emotions. I felt very defeated a lot of times. And after my IVF, I had 6 embryos, none of which implanted. So that felt like, to me, it was like 6 months of this, of something that really was supposed to work and it didn't. And I was left totally heartbroken. My fertility doctor said to me, you can either just keep doing IVF or, consider adoption or child-free living. And that was it. Those were the three options. And to me, I just kept thinking, like, no, no to any of those. Listen, those are options that women do all the time. Many women do multiple rounds of IVF. Many women will say, you know what, I'm ready to adopt. I'm ready to open up maybe my family to someone who needs, a family, a mom or a dad. And some people do decide that maybe having children is not for them. None of those resonated with me. And so I decided to kind of create my own path. So today, while we're here, I would like to set some intentions. For me, I just mentioned this. My intention for you is to come here, and no matter how you are feeling right now, I want you to leave feeling lighter, feeling like there is a little bit more hope in you and feeling more empowered on this journey. Um, just feel like maybe you have a new outlook on the way this journey will go for you. And of course, to walk away with a few tools that will support you in that. So, that is my intention for you. And I would love to hear what you would like to receive today from me. So, if you want to put that in the chat, I'd be very grateful for that. Yeah, let me know. What do you want to experience today? How do you want to feel? What would you like to receive? And don't be shy. I know you came here for a reason. Put it in there. Really, don't be shy. You know what? I talk about this a lot. It's an energetic exchange. I'm here to give to you, right? And I want to receive, your messages. I want to receive, um, the things that you need to from me, peacefulness and acceptance of my path. Thank you, Shannon. Yeah. Peace is a big one. Gosh, eh? Like, just give me a little peace on this journey. It's not easy. And to feel more hopeful. Thank you, Dina. Yeah. How to embrace and process my journey through the losses and joy. Loss is a big one. Yeah. It's a big part of this. So many women experience it. And it is something to embrace and move through. And then, allow that to be cleared as well. Learning to tap into your intuition and see how that will feel. Having hope. Yes, I'm going to give you hope today. I promise you, you're going to feel more hopeful. That is the one thing I am sure I can do this for you today. Get rid of what if I never make it. Yes. Oh, the what ifs. They're awful. Be able to find peace and joy. Yeah. Instead of suffering. I don't want you to suffer either. That's the part. I used to sit in my pantry and eat peanut butter out of a jar. and just cry and be like, why is this like this? Why is it like this? Right? Why is it so hard? Yeah. Oh, 4 years. The time goes by fast, doesn't it? Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, let's keep going. So, here's what you can expect today. This webinar is all about how to use your intuition to unlock your fertility. Okay. And we think of a lock, we think of a key, something to gain access to something that is hidden or locked away. Your intuition is the key to your fertility. Okay. And I know you may think like that sounds way too easy, but I want you to know that when you connect to your intuition, everything else, it's like open, it's like having a master key that starts to unlock multiple doors, multiple things that felt very hard. All of a sudden, you have inner access to them. You have more awareness, more insight. So it really is the first step. And I say all the time to women when they say, like, oh, we're thinking about getting pregnant, we're thinking about starting our family. I'm like, think about connecting first before you do anything else, right? Let your inner wisdom, your intuition guide you. So that's just really important for you to just kind of bring that idea into your awareness today. So today we'll talk about what exactly our intuition is. I do want to talk about intuition versus ego. And here's the thing, ego, our ego can get in the way of our decisions because we may think something feels like it's a gut feeling when actually it's coming from ego, which often comes from a fear based place. So I want to give you a little bit of a way to discern between your intuition and your ego so that you're able to make that clear judgment. Okay. And you'll figure it takes a tiny bit of practice, but you will get it. And then just talking about accessing your intuition, what are some ways that you can start to really connect more deeply and then really just feel into that connection with yourself. Okay. It's really hard to do when our mind is always racing or we're always busy and we're doing things. So, I'm going to give you a few ways that you can really access your intuition and start to be able to hear it and hear those messages. um, and then finally, we'll talk about how to use your intuition for your fertility. So, connecting to intuition is great. It's going to serve you in many ways throughout your life, but specifically, you're here because you want to learn how to use it and harness that connection in order to really support your fertility and support the decisions that you need to make because there's often so much thinking, right? We get so stuck in this, oh my gosh, like now I have to decide this and I have to think about that. And what if I do this option or what about that? So and so did this. And it really feels really heavy and it can feel really busy and chaotic to have all those choices to make. So connecting with your intuition here is going to support you making those decisions and making them easier. So we're not just so inundated with choices all the time, right? Okay. So I say this a lot. You already have the secrets. Everything that you need to know for your fertility and to get your baby into your arms, you already have within you. And usually, when I say that, somebody chimes in and says, if that was true, I'd already have my baby, right? If I had everything I needed already, I'd be pregnant, I'd have my baby. Okay. But here is what I mean by that. There is a reason that infertility manifests in our lives. Okay. Um, there was an experience, there was a belief that created energy in the body. And when we don't clear that energy and we maintain those beliefs, when we act on those beliefs that we have every day, and a lot of time they're subconscious, it can manifest into a physical form. And that's where the diagnosis comes in, the PCOS, the endometriosis, low AMH, whatever it is, it's coming from an energetic place. And so, what we want to do is start to ask ourselves what could be blocking you? Okay. What is the solution? And what are the actions that I can take? All right. So, here's the thing, you want to decide what could be blocking me, right? If you found the answer to that, you would then know how to find a solution and what actions to take. And a lot of times we don't know what's blocking us. And that's where a lot of this inner work comes in. So it's really about really diving deep, connecting, trying to figure out what has manifested, what has caused this diagnosis, where did this energy come from? And then when you're trying to find the solution, that's there. That wisdom is there, right? Once you find that deeper level block, now we can start to see what is the solution. How can we clear that? Okay. And then we can start to see clear actions that we can take going forward because we're addressing something that is within, right? Not just outside of us, right? I have PCOS, so I should stop eating so much carbs or sugar or whatever it is that causes, insulin resistance and all these things. Those are things outside of you. Yes, that's important. Absolutely. Your body is your temple. Your body is absolutely connected to your fertility. But we want to look at why is the PCOS there in the first place? How did that manifest in my body? How do I get to really the core of that and then start to clear that? So that is what we're doing here today. Okay. So what is your intuition? Many of you will know your intuition as that gut feeling, right? Your intuition is your inner knowing. It's your guidance system. It is our GPS that is always trying to guide you in the direction to whatever it is that you desire, whatever it is that you want, whatever lights you up and that you feel called to. And it always knows the best way. And when we can listen to the directions, just like you listen to your GPS and follow the highlighted route, I like to say, we will arrive at our destination. So, your intuition is your way of recognizing and receiving guidance that is coming to you from a source outside of yourself, whatever that is that you believe in. God, your higher self. Maybe you believe in, loved ones who are trying to help and guide you, angels, the universe, whatever it is that resonates with you, there is a force outside of you that can help you. There is knowing there, there is knowledge there that when you're connected to your intuition, you are being guided, right? So it's basically the GPS. This is the North Star, I like to say as well, right? This will guide you if you are open to following it. So we're going to do a little intuition test. Okay. So in a minute, I'm going to ask you a question. And what I want you to do is just answer it right away. Okay. Don't think about it too much. Okay. I don't want you to allow your conscious mind to answer this question. I want you to just feel into this one. So I'm going to ask a question. You are going to say the first answer that pops into your mind. And I want you to pay attention here to how you receive the answer. Is it a word? Is it a feeling? Is it maybe you hear an answer, right? You hear a whisper, you hear something in your mind. Try your best not to think about it too much. Just answer the question. And I want you to pay attention to where that came from and how that felt in the body. Okay. So, really quickly for a minute, let's just put our hand on our heart. Okay. And let's take a really deep inhale through the nose and we're going to exhale through the mouth and we're just going to center our body. And I'm going to ask a question. You're going to answer. Are you ready? Okay. So let's take a deep inhale. Just hold it there for a minute and exhale. Okay. Really center yourself there. All right. So I'm going to ask and you just answer right away. You can put it in the chat if you like. Do you believe that in this lifetime you will become a mother? 100%. I love that, Stephanie. Samaya, yes. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Let me know. So, where did you feel that? Where did you feel that? How did you receive that? Yes. Oh, I love all these yeses. Yes. Yes. I saw my future family. Ayeko. I hope I'm saying that right. I love this. You saw an image. Yeah, we see it, right? How you receive that answer right now is a really good indication of how you connect to your intuition. So if you saw something, if you heard it, if you felt it, these are all ways that we receive, Okay. In my chest. Yeah, your heart center. Absolutely. Feel it there, right? Good. Okay. So let's talk about the answers. So, where did you feel that? How did you receive it? I'm glad you shared that with me. Thank you so much. Yes. So, if you felt a yes, you're going to lean into that. Okay. Your intuition is already guiding you. You felt that in one way or another. You saw it, you felt it, you heard it. Whatever it was that called to you in that moment that came for you right away, that is your intuition. Okay. You already feel that because it is already yours. I want you to trust, and this is very hard for us because we always want to say, oh, no, that was just my brain. That was just my mind. No. Okay. I want you to trust yourself. I want you to trust that what you just received right now the truth, is the truth that is coming from your guidance system. Okay. If nothing else, if you trust nothing else, I want you to say, you know what? I opened myself up to this. I allowed myself to receive, and I received a yes. So I want you to just really lean into that. I want you to keep that in your mind. Imagine, that moment coming back anytime you feel doubt. I want you to come back to that question. Do I believe that in this lifetime I'm going to be a mother? That answer was yes. I want you to hold on to it, okay? Now, here's the thing. If you got a no, don't freak out. Okay? I very rarely see women that get a no, but if you get a no, I want you to know the no is less accurate. And that's because the no can come from ego, can come from a place of fear. Okay. The no, um, it tends to be based in a fear. And we're going to talk about ego, but the no can come up because of fear. I honestly, in my heart of hearts, I truly believe that when we want something, when we are so called to something like motherhood, it is meant for you. There are women who know they don't want children. So, just in the way that some women know, I don't want to have children, I don't feel called to be a mother, that exact opposite, that parallel is true for you as well when you know you do want to be a mother. And so I truly believe that there is something within us that says this is meant for you. And if you get a no in that moment, okay, I want you to know that that is very likely coming from fear and from ego, not your intuition. Okay. If it's a no from intuition, it's going to come really gentle. Okay. Not from fear. It's not going to feel scary. If it's coming from intuition, that no is going to be like, not right now, not yet. This isn't the time. It's going to be very gentle. Okay. So if you got a no that was like, oh my God, and it felt panicked and it was scary and it was like, oh, heavy, that's probably not your intuition speaking to you. Okay. I see that the hard thing that it is accompanied with doubt and fear. And that is what makes the journey heavy, 100%. And so, Yelena, when we can come back to that yes, that is where I'm going to ask you to lean into and come back to. And I know it's a tiny little fragment, it's a tiny little thing, but there is a knowing there when you answer that. And that holds a lot of power. So I want you to be able to come back to that. It helps to get rid of the doubt and the fear. So I just kind of said this already, but your baby is meant for you. And the things we wish for in our life, okay, we feel deeply connected to, they are the things that are meant for us. Yeah. And you have to take inspired action. Okay. So we know we want these things, but we also have to remember that we need to take inspired action. We have to be willing to be guided. And then we have to also be willing to trust and follow that guidance. And so, this relationship that you're going to develop with your intuition for your fertility is really about trusting in that feeling and following what you feel guided to do. Okay. So, just as you felt that intuitive guidance with that question, keep coming back to that. Keep asking yourself questions about your fertility, right? Keep asking yourself, where you need to go next. And that is how you're going to receive that information and that guidance forward, is by really trusting and listening. Okay, let's keep going. I know I said I was going to talk. I'm going to lose my voice here more, but it's fine. Before we dive in a little further, let's look at this. So, while you are here to learn about connecting to your intuition and how that will help you, it's also important to know how you can be putting up blocks, okay, or the walls that are blocking your intuition. These are the things that block us from receiving the guidance. So these are some of the mistakes I see women making. And as I go through these in the chat, if you want to, if you're comfortable, share with me. Are there any of these mistakes that you see yourself making right now? And it's good. Call yourself out. It's okay. It's good to be aware of them, right? So one would be trusting others over yourself. Okay. This is the doctor's orders, right? Doctor tells you to do something and you just do it without really thinking about it. Even if it doesn't really feel right or feel aligned for you, you trust the doctor because he's a doctor, she's a doctor. Of course, they know what's best, right? Um, so that's one, is that we're trusting people outside of us to allow to guide us forward, even if maybe it doesn't feel right for us. Okay. Another one is making decisions out of fear or out of control. So making a decision out of fear would be like, okay, I have to keep going and do taking this medication. I have to keep doing IVF. I have to do something because this is the way people do it to get pregnant, right? And it makes you feel like you're in control of your journey. It's very hard to detach and let go. So if you're making decisions out of fear or out of that need to control the journey and control as much as you can, that's going to block you from receiving the guidance that is going to come much more gently than that. Okay. Doing what your friend's sister's cousin did. We all do this. So you heard that something worked for someone else. And so you go ahead and try and do that same thing. Okay. That is someone else's journey. That's someone else's story. It is not yours. The women in my group, we talk about this one a lot because it is something that comes up quite a bit, right? I heard this, I saw this, someone else did this, and then we want to reenact that and hope it will work for us, but it blocks you from receiving what is going to work for you. Okay. Creating and believing limitations. We have lots of limitations. We have a lot of thoughts and stories that we believe about ourselves. We have beliefs that we grew up believing, okay, that can affect our fertility, right? If we allow ourselves to believe everything we think, we are blocking our intuition. Because I will tell you, your brain, your mind is an incredible storyteller. And you know this, right? How many times do we worry about things that never happen, right? And this is normal. This is ego trying to keep you safe, but it blocks you from receiving your intuitive guidance. Okay. This is a long list. These are just a few examples. But these are some of the ways that I see women disempowering themselves and really like they're shutting down their intuition because they are really putting their faith and their trust in everything outside of themselves. This doesn't mean don't work with a doctor and don't listen to a doctor. It means to make sure that you are in alignment with what is being suggested for you or what is, happening outside of you, experiences that you're having. So is there any of those that you feel kind of like, oh, that might be me. Maybe that might be me. Leave it in the chat. If you don't want to, that's okay. I understand. But it's something that, it's important for you to at least be aware of. Start checking in. So, what is the ego? Let me take a sip of water here. Making decisions out of fear. Yeah. Panic. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. Time, right? It's that time pressure. We panic. We only have one chance every month, and there's only 12 months in a year, and then a year will go by. It sets us into a spiral. So yeah. Oh my gosh, Mel, I so relate to that one. That was me. Definitely making decisions from control. Yeah. We want to control it. There's so many things we do have control over that when it comes to fertility, we keep thinking like, well, why can't I also control this, right? I get to control so many other parts of life. All right. Let's look at what the ego is. So, the ego is the part of you that wants to keep you safe. Okay. It is like the most caveman part of us. Um, it's rooted in those basic needs, right, for survival. And so it wants to keep you safe by um, keeping you comfortable, keeping you in your routines, knowing what to expect. And also, it tries to keep you safe by imagining the worst case scenario. What if this happens? What if that happens? What will you do? How will you prepare? How will you make sure you survive if this A, B, C, D, E all go wrong? Okay, that's your ego. That's fearful. It feels heavy. It feels uncomfortable. This is where the anxiety comes from, the depression comes from, the sadness, the frustration, the jealousy, all of those things come from that. Now, our ego is part of us. We love our ego. I think of it as like a little kid that's always going, but what about this? But what about that? And it really is important to try to make your ego feel safe. Okay. It drives all of these things, right? The attachment to the timelines. Yes, the fear mongering. Yeah, sorry, I just saw that one. That's a big one too. Um, it really drives the control, the need for control, the need for safety, right? The need for attachment to the outcome, and the judgment, right? It's really just trying to keep you safe, but at the end of the day, it can be really harmful if we are in an ego-based position in our fertility. If we're really just allowing it to take the wheel, it'll prevent you from moving forward. Okay, so let's see. These are some signs that your ego, this picture gets me every time. These are some signs that your ego are taking the wheel of your fertility. All right. Again, I would love for you to leave it in the chat and let me know which one of these may be sticking out for you. Okay. The first one is the control. Okay. You're trying to control everything about your fertility, and you believe that it is your fault if it is not successful. Again, this is ego, right? So if you're trying to control all the things, how much sleep you're getting, what you're eating, how you're moving your body, what medications you're taking. If you are the person who is saying like, I'm not going to go on that vacation and I'm not going to go do this and I'm going to do this because everything has to revolve around my fertility. Okay. And then if something doesn't work, you come back and you blame yourself. What did I do wrong? Right? I did this. The reason my body didn't respond to this medication, and that's my fault in some way. So, that again, control, I know that's a big one for us. Comparison is another one. We compare our journey to others. And that might sound like these thoughts of you're so behind, you're running out of time. It's only going to get harder the older you get. I should have done what that person did. I should have done this. I should have done that. It's really the comparison, right? Why is it so easy for someone else and not for me? And this can kind of bring us into that victim mindset too, right? So the comparison is a really big one. And again, these are the stories we're telling ourselves. Okay, these are not real. It's hard. And it leads us to a victim mentality. A lot of us are here. This is, don't beat yourself up for this one. If you're one of those people who says, why is this happening to me? Like, this is so unfair. It feels like that. It sucks, right? You see so many women just having a baby. And then it's like, why do I have to carry this heavy burden? Why do I have to take this on? And so we do get into that mindset. It's a victim mindset. It's ego making you feel like you are the victim. And that keeps you feeling hopeless and powerless, which again is preventing change. Okay. Your ego is part of you, but it will do everything it can to keep you safe. And a baby is dangerous to the ego, which I'm going to talk to you about that. So, is there any of those that you kind of see yourself as like a block for you? Yeah, worthiness. You believe that your worth is directly related to your ability to conceive, and you put your own value on something outside of yourself. Okay. If you don't believe in yourself, in your own worth, right? That's going to affect your body. That's going to affect your mind. It's going to affect your body. And if you're putting value on, if I'm not a mother, I'm not worthy of ABC, or I'm not going to be seen as in a certain way by my peers, by my family, my friends. That's a big block there, right? But that's ego saying, "Oh yeah, you're not worthy of this. Just stop." Right? Just don't do it. So that one feels very heavy as well. So here's the thing, okay? We we confuse our ego with a feeling of like this is not meant for me, right? If it's not happening, it must be because it's not meant for me. I'm not meant to be a mom. Okay. This feels heavy. They're bad feelings. It's things like I always say, like your intuition is like going to be your best friend. Your best friend would never say stuff like this to you. Your best friend would be like, well, maybe you should just stop because it's probably not meant for you. You're probably not going to be a very good mom, and that's why you can't have a baby. And if your best friend is saying that to you, they're not a very good friend, right? So think of it like that. It's not that ego's trying to be mean, ego's trying to keep you safe. And it does that by saying things that make you want to stop trying to change your life. Okay. Um, your ego is just freaking out all the time, and we need to just calm it down, just settle down, right? When you catch yourself in a moment of ego, I want you to just say to yourself, like, you know what? I hear you. I see you. Settle down. You're fine. Everything's okay. We're going to be great. Okay, so this is your intuition. Your intuition has the power to change everything on this journey for you. Okay, it is really about deepening this connection. So, we're going to learn how to do that. You're going to find your own way for this. Okay, it's not a one size fits all. Just as I ask you the question, do you feel like you are going to become a mom in this lifetime and you received that in some way? That is probably a good indicator of how you will receive your intuitive guidance. And so I want you to explore a few different ways of doing this, okay? And find the one that works for you. Meditation. Listen, I love meditation. Okay, some people are not into it. The people who aren't into it, it's probably because they tried it and they're like, all I did was watch my thoughts fly around my head all for 15 minutes or 20 minutes and I didn't receive anything. But it does take a little bit of time. But if you can just sit there and observe your thoughts, you are meditating, believe it or not. And you're actually doing it very well because it really is about being awareness of what's happening inside. Okay. It puts you in a relaxed state where you are open to receiving guidance. Okay. Now you can meditate in silence. It's a little more difficult for many people. So I would always say, start with maybe a guided meditation or something with some calm music. Really just take some deep breaths, relax the body, and ask for an answer, right? Focus on a certain question that you need guidance on and just open yourself up to receiving that. Okay. That I like to practice this one by just seeing how you receive a yes or no. So you could start by asking a yes or no question. Should I continue doing IUIs? That could be your question, right? And see what comes for you. Is it a yes? Is it a no? How does it feel in the body? How are you receiving it? Right? Does it feel gentle? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel or sorry, light, heavy, gentle? Does it feel, a little bit more tense or stressful? And this is how you're going to know where the answer is coming from and whether or not it's the right answer for you. Getting in nature is a very special way to connect with your intuition. You are part of nature, you are part of everything. And so, when we can put ourselves back into a natural environment and tune into our surroundings, our intuition naturally wakes up. It naturally starts to just flow through you. Okay. So, if you're someone who could go for a walk by the water, go into the forest, sit at a park, right? It can be anything. You can have one tree. And if you could just go kind of hang out near that tree, just allow yourself to just kind of receive from your surroundings, from nature. Get your feet in the ground. Grounding is such a great practice for that as well. Just take a sip of water here. To help you to connect a little bit better as well. Getting your feet in the sand, in the dirt, in the ground, in the grass is really helpful. Okay, this is a big one. For me, I want to share with you. I've always been into like arts and crafts and like I love being artistic, but when I was on my fertility journey is when I started painting. I've never received my intuitive guidance like I did when I would paint. I would get into this state that felt very meditative. I was opening up my intuitive energy through that. And that is where I started to see like real visions of what my life was going to be, right? What I wanted to bring in, things with my boys, right? Um, and it just opens up this flow. So if there's anything for you that does that, that could be through music, art, dance, it could be through anything that kind of opens you up to just being in a state where you're not hyper focused on one thing, like thoughts, hyper focused on certain thoughts, and you're just allowing flow. Okay. Creative energy is very feminine energy, right? And so intuition is a very feminine thing, right? So want to bring that in. So if you can find your own creative outlet, whatever that is, and it lights you up and brings you joy and opens you up, this is very powerful for women. Okay. Um, so yeah, do you have one? If you have one, you can just lean into that right now. Allow that to be a time to connect. Okay. So signs that you've made a connection, this will be different again for you. There are physical sensations you could have, like you feel goosebumps, right? All of a sudden, you're trying to make a decision. And when you think of one of the options, all of a sudden you get like the shivers or goosebumps, or, the hair stands up. And then also, if you feel something heavy, like an ache or a pain or something that doesn't feel good, you can know that maybe that's coming from fear too, right? To be able to distinguish that. We can also see and hear signs if you are someone who looks for angel numbers. I love my angel numbers. Signs on a clock. It could be animals, a certain animal that keeps showing up for you, whether it's through pictures or, in your experiences. It could be a song on the radio that you keep hearing over and over again. And maybe it's a song that's not really like a trendy song right now. It's like a song from a long time ago, but you keep hearing it. It can also come through conversations that you overhear from other people. So you might hear people talking in a line at Starbucks and they say something that stands out to you. That could be meant for you. That could be a sign, okay, that you are connecting. And then there's the knowing. This is a big one for me. I just get this. I have like a clear cognizance where I'm just like, I just know that. I know that that's true. And so I can't really explain it. And so it's a very difficult one, but I just get a feeling that I know. Okay. Um, and actually, funny story. So for me, when I was going through my own journey, I knew I needed to do an IUI, but I did not want to do any medication, nothing like that. I wanted it natural, but I just wanted an IUI. And I said, I know I'm going to get pregnant that way. Finally, after all of this, that is what happened. I went to a clinic and I said, I want to do this my way. I want to do an IUI. They had told me I was not a candidate for IUIs because I would make too many follicles. I said, I want an unmedicated IUI. I finally found a clinic who would do that for me. And there was baby right after that. So and again, that was I just knew it. I said to my husband, like, we need to do this. I know this is going to work after everything else had failed, right? That was the thing. So here is how we can start to use our intuition. Okay. Once you've made that connection to guide your fertility. Okay. Learning to shut out the noise and listen to your intuition is going to be your greatest power on this journey. Right. So here are some of the ways that you're going to use this connection with your intuition to guide your fertility forward. Okay. When you are connected, you are going to be able to receive guidance about who to trust with your body on this journey. And that could be a doctor, a naturopath. It could be a specific therapist, a coach, a healer. There are so many people outside of just the fertility clinic community, okay, that can help you. And when you allow yourself to receive that kind of guidance, there may be options that you hadn't considered before that for some reason you feel called to, and allow yourself to follow that. Okay. You may be at a clinic. Maybe, again, I'm not knocking doctors, but you may be at a clinic where there's a specific doctor you're working with and you just don't feel like this is the right person. You just have that feeling. Trust in that. Is there another doctor at that clinic you could work with? If not, is there another clinic you could try? Is there somewhere else? Maybe someone's been talking about the clinic they go to, and all of a sudden that sounds like, wait, I think I want to try and go there too, right? Or it could be maybe someone's working with a naturopath. Maybe somebody's been seeing a coach or a therapist or somebody that is supporting them to feel more empowered or more aligned on their journey. So be open to your intuition guiding you on who to trust and how to move forward. That's a really big one. Another one is your diet. So I in my program, I talk a little bit about nutrition. I don't go into it. And this is what I say because my clients, we meet in our live calls, and on the live calls, diet and nutrition is a big one that causes stress. They feel like they have to control food. Then they start to get stressed out about food. But here's the thing, when you are working with your intuition, you already know, when you can listen to your body and listen to that guidance, what foods are going to support you and what foods are not. And you don't have to sit there and read a million different articles about flax seeds and pineapple course and things like that. You will just know. You can pick up, I'm not even kidding you. I know this might sound woo woo. You can pick up a food and you will know whether or not your body needs that food or not, whether or not that food is going to support your fertility or not. You already know that. You can pick up an apple and get a yes or a no, right? When you are connected and you learn to listen to your body, right, and to your intuition, you don't need to worry so much and stress so much about food and the way you move your body. Okay. You'll know the things that feel right for you and that are going to support you. Okay. So I want you to lean into that too, because that is a really heavy one. I know a lot of women really, that's one of the big control pieces. They get really stressed out about that. But when you're connected, you know, and you'll listen to it because you have that awareness. Like you're gonna pick up I mean, like you're not gonna go sit down and eat an entire carton of ice cream. You know that's probably not supporting you. That's not even really intuitive. You probably just know that. But you can say, is it okay for me to have like a bowl of ice cream right now? A little bowl of ice cream is that, and you're gonna know I don't need to be so stressed out. This is not gonna say you're not getting pregnant if you eat that bowl of ice cream, right? So it really is about letting it guide you, even when it comes to your diet and your nutrition. Okay. You will have an easier time making choices and decisions about how to move forward, what steps to take for each part of your cycle. Okay. So, again, this one is really about leaning in. And when you have options, leaning into the intuitive guidance to say which one feels right for me, which one is the right path for me to take. Right. So it's when I say that tapping into intuition is number one thing you should do, this is why. Because every decision you have to make, right? And there are many, you will not have to stress yourself out because you're going to be so connected. Okay. Yes, there will be a recording. Samaya, yeah. I will send the recording out as well. And you know what? If you actually could DM me on Instagram, Samaya, because I want to make sure you get the new moon meditation, because that's only for the people who are here live. Okay. So DM me and I'll make sure I send that to you in your email. All right. So no more ruminating on what went wrong and allowing it to mean something for the future. Okay. No more thinking about all the things that didn't work. Right. Right now, we want to really focus on detaching and losing those negative charges that come with the things that didn't go right. And now just stop and look at this as I am now going to move forward with my fertility being guided and allowing myself to connect more deeply. Okay. The detachment piece is huge. I did do a podcast episode. If you haven't listened to it, go and listen to that one. Detachment from the things that didn't go right, the things that feel heavy, even again, it's the timing is such a big one too. When we can trust in all the things we're being guided to do and trust in that, yes, I am meant to be a mother. It makes it easier to move away from the detachment, which now is taking off the pressure, the suffering, the stress. That's where that's coming from because we want this so badly, right? So I know you're going to be able to detach a little bit more when you start to lean in more to your intuition. Okay. So I want to remind you you're powerful. You might not feel like it, but you are. And when you make every effort to connect your intuition and build on that connection, it is going to serve you not only on your fertility journey, but throughout motherhood as well. Okay. When you start to lean into your intuitive guidance and start trusting yourself, everything will shift. I see this in every single one of my clients. Everything shifts. It's literally within a matter of weeks, they come to me and they're like, "Oh my God, I did not know I could feel like this on my fertility journey because it has felt so heavy, so dense, so hard. And I did not know it could feel hopeful and lighter and a little bit easier. And that I actually could trust that this was going to happen for me when I've spent so much time feeling like it wasn't." And I want you to know that's not coming from me. It's not coming from anything I am teaching. It is coming from you embodying what you already have within you. Okay. You have so much power there. And I want, again, like that was my intention today. Please take that from today. Take that remembering and that knowledge of how much you already have that is supporting you. Okay. Um, it starts with the intuition. So start there. I want to thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today and just opening your heart and your mind today to something more than you have been experiencing. Okay. I want you to really see how your intuition can guide you and open up all of these doors for you. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to come and teach. I honestly, I could stay on here all day. I won't. Again, I'm going to respect your time. Um, and I love this. I love connecting with you. I'm very grateful that I've had an opportunity to connect with women across the world and share this with them because all I think is like, I wish I had had this on my own journey. I wish there was somebody who had just, I mean, at some point there was when I started to look, but I wish I had had somebody who had said to me, it's not all bad. It seems like it is, but it's not. There's a lot here, and you already have a lot of what you need to know. And if I can provide that for you today, then that is what I am here to do. So I felt very called to do this work. It's my way of giving back, my way of serving. And I hope that it does serve you today. I want to share with you a little bit about the magic mindset, fertility mindset method. And then I'm going to also give you the link to the free new moon meditation, which is tonight. It is no coincidence I chose November 1st on a new moon. Lunar energy is feminine energy, it's creative energy. I want you to embody it. So I created a little meditation for you to use tonight with the new moon. So I'm going to give you the link for that at the end of this. I am almost done. So thank you. And I appreciate you just giving me a moment to talk about the fertility mindset method. I use a create process, and this is something that I created based on what I did myself. Okay. So I really focus on learning to connect. And you got a big chunk of that today is how to connect with yourself. That's the first step. And then what we do is we start to really rewire our subconscious beliefs. Okay. We start to really look at where are the blocks, what's happening in the mind, what's happening in the body that are creating blocks. And we really start to reframe and rewire those things. And I give you all the tools and techniques that you need for that. And I help you walk you through it. I will hold your hand on that one because a lot of times we don't see it in ourselves as well. We might think like, oh, maybe it's this or maybe it's that. When I talk with my clients, when I talk with the students in the program, through our conversations, I'll stop them and I'll say, there is one right there. Do you hear what you just said? Do you see how that could be blocking or creating a belief? And then be like, oh my God, I had no idea. Once we can identify those, we can start to shift it. And that changes the entire energy in the body. Okay. Then we move into an embodiment process where we are embodying motherhood now instead of waiting until we're pregnant, instead of waiting till we have a baby. We embody it right now. We move from maiden to motherhood, right? What does that mean for us? How do we start to act like a mother, feel like a mother right now, knowing that this is coming in? Okay, then we move into action, which is where we start to look at how we can start to take inspired action while also releasing some of that control. And then we move into our timelines, which is a big one because this is where we start to detach. We say, okay, I know this is happening. How can I start to detach from the fear? How can I start to detach from the pressure of feeling like I need to do this now because I'm running out of time? We do a whole lesson on that as well and give you a lot of tools and techniques there. And then finally, we go to expand. Expand is where I bring in all of the woo woo practices. We really go heavy here on things like lunar energy, on doing some work with crystals, with Oracle. I bring in all of that because that is intuitive. That is part of your feminine energy. We look at the womb as this cauldron of creation, and there's so much magic there. So we do bring in a little bit of that expansion. It's a lot of fun. Um, and that there is a lot of magic that happens there. So that's kind of a little overview of what the program is really all about and what we're doing. And I am there supporting you through that as well. Okay. You get weekly content. So there's 12 weeks, 12 modules. Each one is about an hour. Every single week, you're going to get meditations, EFT, hypnotherapy. We do subliminal work, and I talk you through that as well. And we just start to bring in all of these practices. I'm giving you everything you need, as well as our live calls where we chat about how things are going. And I help you move through if there's something that comes up. In the program, I'm also available through email all the time. So if something comes up for you, maybe you did like one of the meditations or you did an EFT practice and you were like, oh my gosh, when I was doing it, this came up for me. How do I move through this? I got you. I'm there for you. This is what I'm doing. I love being the detective and being like, oh, I wonder if this is like the block for you. And this is what we need to clear. Where are we holding that in the body? And how do we remove it? Right. So I am holding your hand through this. We got this. I'm doing this with you, but you are going to see a complete shift in the first few weeks of this. Um, it's it is magical. It really is. Okay. So through the program, you get 12 weeks of video recorded modules, okay, as well as, again, all of the workbooks. Every week, you get the workbook that comes with the exercises to do to help you clear, help you work through what you learned, as well as access to the vault. The vault has extra meditations, EFTs, subliminals, hypnotherapy, all of that. It's just extra things that are not even part of the modules. These are like on top of, and this is for everything you could need. Going through the 2 week wait, there's something for that. Did you have a miscarriage? Was there a loss? We go through working through that. If you're doing IVF, we have two different ones for that. So there is something for everything that you could be going through on this journey. There is healing, there is medicine there. And when I say medicine, I mean energetic, spiritual medicine, right? To support your mind and your body. Um, you also get 2 live calls with me every month. So we meet every other week and we chat and I answer questions. I'll teach you anything new that, needs to be taught that can come up. And you do have email access. All right. So this program is like your full support system. All right. This is my third baby. And I love doing it. I love supporting women in this way. These are just a few of the things that women are saying. I get a lot of messages on DMs, I get emails, I chat with my clients. I have cried many times with them just seeing how much change they've experienced. And the number one thing I get in feedback is usually, I didn't know it could be like this. And I'm gonna get emotional now, but I hearing that, right? Like I didn't know it could not feel so hard and so heavy. It lights me up because I remember how dark those days were. And it wasn't until I found this path that really supported me. And like you probably know, within 6 months of doing this work, really connecting with myself, I was pregnant with my baby boy. And the work I had done has supported me through pregnancy and it has supported me through motherhood, many years of it. My goodness, trust me, I needed a lot of that in motherhood more than I knew. Here are some other things. Again, like for me, this is connecting with women, supporting women, empowering women. And if I can be of service in that way, that is what I'm here to do. So I want to give you hope. I want to empower you. I do that through the program. I do that with the podcast and with my content. And I hope that, that is supporting you as well. So thank you. Um, and yeah, these are just, again, I'm not going to go through all of them. If you want testimonials, they're there, but I don't want to, I want to respect your time. So we'll keep going. I want you to receive what you're asking for. Okay. I want you to get your life back. I want you to stop saying, I can't go on that vacation. I can't do this. I can't do that. Right. And I want you to get your life back. And I want you to remove all of those emotions that are not serving you. Okay. They block us from creating space for our baby. All of those heavy things, the fear, the guilt, the shame, the sadness, the anger, the resentment, the jealousy, all of those things are dense and heavy and they take up space. And what we want to do is really allow our baby to come in. And we need to create the space for them to do that. Thank you, Lauren. Lauren also DM me so on Instagram just so that I can send you the meditation. Okay. So really quickly, the program right now is 3 months of $379. Okay. If you do a pay in full option, it is 1111. Paid in full, you're good to go. You have lifetime access to the program. You have access to the calls with me for as long as this program runs. So even if after the 12 weeks you still would like to come to group calls, you are more than welcome. Okay. I will never shut you out from that. Um, you'll have all updates to the program as well. Okay, so if I update, the vault is continuously being, added to. So you will always have access to all of the meditations, the EFT, the hypnotherapy, all of that is yours for as long as you need it. Okay. And I just want to remind you too, I know things are kind of weird in the world right now. I know things are heavy and there's a lot of unknown. So I know you know, saying like, oh, I'll just grab $1,000 and put it towards this and, invest it in this can be a little bit tricky. But I also want to remind you, not doing this work sometimes can leave us feeling continuously moving through the motions. So here we are doing IVF for $20,000 and it's not working because we haven't cleared what the real deep roots of the problem is. So I have a client who came to me week one and she said, I, my doctor just keeps saying I have to do IVF. So I'm planning for IVF. And she, throughout the program, realized she started to feel like she could get pregnant naturally. This was after years of infertility. By the end of the program, she was pregnant and she basically had to invest $1,000, got pregnant naturally, and then did not have to spend $20,000 on IVF that she had planned on spending. So it is an investment. It is going to support you no matter what. It will never be wasted. Because I know things are kind of tough right now globally, this is a limited time. I'm going to offer a 12-month payment plan. So that comes to $94 a month, which is $23 a week. So I think of for myself about things that I have spent $23 on in a week. And is there something better I could invest that money in? So I'm going to offer this until November 8th. Okay. This is really my way of saying I want to make this accessible for as many women as I can. And so I'm going to offer the 12-month program right now. Sorry, 12-month payment plan right now. And I hope you will jump in on this offer. I would like to bring it back again next round, but I will see how things go. So right now, this is the offer for this round of Fertility Mindset Method. And I hope that that does make things a little more accessible for you. Okay. And really, before we close off today, I will put the link for this as well in the chat. But before we close off today, I want you to ask yourself, okay, and yes, you will get the new moon meditation. There we go. Um, where were you a year ago on your fertility journey? And from where you were a year ago, what has changed from then until now? And looking at that past, where could you be a year from now if you started to embody this work and really dive in to a connection with your intuition and try to take this journey in a way that you were being guided, not just doing it on your own, but being guided and being open to receiving that guidance? Okay. So really ask yourself that. Really, really lead into that right now. Like, how could things be different if I made this decision today to change the way this is going to go for me? Okay. You can always find me at Magic Mindset on Instagram. I'm going to go back over here. Um, you are also today going to get a new moon fertility meditation. I created this for you. All right. This is for tonight. So I hope you're going to be able to do it. It is only 10 minutes. Okay. Get into a nice meditative state tonight. I'm going to let you get the link for this. Let me put this in here. There it is. So what we're going to do is put that right in here for you. So I want you to go to that link. Okay. That's going to, all you have to do is put your email in. And I want you to download that meditation. Okay. I want you to do it tonight. I would love a DM. Let me know what you thought. New moon energy is all about manifesting. Okay. You look at the moon is in darkness, right? So we are about to expand. We are growing. We are entering the phase of, moving towards a full moon. We are in expansion. And so we want to harness that energy for our fertility, right? We want to grow. We want to expand. We want to bring in. So we're going to harness that lunar energy tonight. Again, it's a short 10-minute meditation, but it's very powerful. So please check out that link there. If you are here, or if are attending live and for some reason you lost the link or whatever, please just DM me and let me know that you are here, and I will gladly send you the link for that. Okay. And then I also would love to put the link for the program in here for you. Okay. So, oh, not that one. There we go. Oh, good Lord, we're all over the map here. I would love to put the link for the program in for you. If you are called to do this work, okay, you can absolutely, like, there are ways to, sorry, let me just fix this here. There are ways to move through this on your own. Absolutely. You know what to do now. You've got to connect with yourself. If you feel like you need that hand holding, if you feel like you need that guidance, if you feel like you need that detective to come in and help you figure out what's going on in your mind and your body that is causing those blocks, I would love for you to be in the program with me. So I'm going to, sorry, let me just hop in here and grab the link for you. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put that in the chat as well. Right. So if you, oh, sorry, friends. There we go. There it is. Okay. So there is the link for the program as well. Okay. And that is it. So I want to thank you so, so much for being here today with me. I am so grateful to have you here and for spending this time with me and for listening to my voice when it sounds the way it sounds. And I just want to thank you. If you have questions, I'm going to hang out for an extra few minutes here. If you have any questions that you would like to ask about the program or about anything that I shared today, I'm going to hang out for another maybe 15 minutes. If anybody has questions, you can ask them in the chat and I'll happily answer those. If not, I thank you so much. I know I've taken an hour of your day. I'm so grateful for you being part of this community and being here with me today. And I'm sending you so much love and light on this journey. So I'm blowing you big kisses. I'm a big hugger, and I love that online, I can send you hugs. And if you're not a hugger, it's okay. But if you are, please accept that from me. Receive my big hug, my squishy hug for you. And we'll chat soon.